And I just wonder why. Why is government so intent on trying to control our daily lives when it is we who should be controlling them? Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm in my bunker today, and the first thing I do is I have my coffee and I look over a few news articles to see what's going on. And I'm looking at this new article. ATF admits to secret database of nearly 1 billion gun records. Now, I look at this, ladies and gentlemen, and I start thinking to myself, how many more things can this government do to try to control its population? So I start, just taking a look through the internet, and I just keep finding stuff. And there's 5 things here that I found that I think people are just missing. And why is it, ladies and gentlemen, that people keep missing these things? And when I say that people keep missing these things, it's not that everyone's missing them. Obviously, some people see them. Some people blow the horn and try to tell people. But the majority of people nowadays, ladies and gentlemen, the government has put us in a place where most people are just trying to survive. And they don't have time to research this. They don't have time to look at articles. They don't have time to read bills and all this kind of stuff. And I understand that. And it's one of the reasons why I like to put out these videos. This is a channel that concentrates on preparedness, but being informed, in my opinion, is preparedness, is being prepared, because it allows you to know what to prep for. ATF admits to secret database of nearly 1 billion gun records, ladies and gentlemen. So the ATF, with our tax dollars, has secretly, in my opinion, now this is all my opinion, all right, ladies and gentlemen, everything I'm going to tell you here is my opinion. You can do your own research to see if there's any validity behind it, okay? But with our tax dollars, they take that money and then they hire people. And who's they? Of course, the 537. The 535 up on the hill and then the 2 up in the White House. They take our money, our wealth, our freedom to do what? To try and encroach on more of our liberties and to take away more of our liberties. This is ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. This article here says a registry of guns and gun owners is a tool that the federal government, the DOJ, and the ATF have had on their wish list for decades now. And anti-gun politicians and lobbyists have sold a registry as a tool for stopping crime. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, they're doing this for our safety, okay? Enforcing universal background checks and ensuring public safety. There we go. It's for our safety, ladies and gentlemen. You know why? Because you and I, we're not adults. We can't take care of ourselves. We're just laymen. We're too stupid to know what's right and wrong. We're too stupid to know where the trigger is and how to conduct proper trigger safety. In reality, a registry guarantees that large-scale confiscation will happen at some point. That's why the ATF is forbidden explicitly from keeping a searchable database by law. Now, for those of you that are going to say, well, it's for our safety, AP, they're doing this for the good of everyone. They locked down the entire country and crashed the economy pretty much and made hundreds of thousands of businesses and mom and pop shops go bankrupt. They did all of that for our safety, even though the data shows that those states that did not apply these strict measures had about the same numbers of fatalities as the states that applied the strictest measures. And if you want to see a breakdown on that, I actually put up a video on Rumble that breaks it down, the top 5 states with the most stringent mandates compared to the top 5 states with the least stringent mandates. And you'll be surprised, or you probably won't be surprised, at what the numbers were as far as illnesses and deaths. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is just one thing, but I want to share with you some other things that if they get away with this and really, thinking out loud, law enforcement, please pick the side that will be on the right side of history. right always prevails over wrong. Just following orders doesn't mean that it is a lawful order. Make a decision, and if you want to make the decision to be a tyrant, then so be it. Because there has to be evil in order for there to be good, right? So law enforcement, please, and I know because I've talked to law enforcement before. In my heart, I know that law enforcement, the majority, are good people that want to feed their families just like you and me. But some of them maybe get scared. Some of them maybe do not have the internal fortitude or intestinal fortitude, as we used to say in the military, to say no just because someone is of higher rank than they are. It is going to be in the hands of law enforcement and our military whether we, ladies and gentlemen, as a people, either live free in a peaceful manner or whether we have to gain our freedom in a manner that will be destructive, not only to ourselves, but to our entire nation. Let me show you a few more things. This is what I'm talking about. This is just one thing. And they spread these things out. They spread them out. That way they can hit the news cycle for 72 hours. Then they disappear. Then they wait a bit before they bring something else out that they are nefariously working on in order to steal our liberties. We've talked about this before. Programmable money. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's say that you are on that list that the ATF has. Let's say that your name is on that list. And then let's say that we end up having a CBDC, a centrally banked digital currency, which is money that is programmable by one entity, the Federal Reserve / the government. I consider them the same. Now, what is it that they can do in order to persuade you to maybe give up that boomstick? Ladies and gentlemen, all they have to do is demonetize your life. With the push of a button, they can demonetize your life if we have a CBDC. That is their end goal. Because, ladies and gentlemen, whether you want to think so or not, money is freedom. Money is freedom. Think about it. You work for money. Your work equals your time, your labor, your skills, your talents, your capital, the capital that you spent on actually getting ready for and going to work. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your freedom. Your time is your freedom. So if they threaten you with your freedom by demonetizing your life and not giving you a way to execute a living, to actually make a living, to actually go and live, to go to Costco and buy whatever you want, to go to a gun store and buy a gun. If they tell you what you can and can't buy, when you can and can't buy it, how good your money is, how long your money is good for, is that freedom? No. CBDC represents everything opposite of what freedom is, ladies and gentlemen. It gives you and me, it gives 330 plus million people in this country a mommy and daddy that can tell them when and where and how much. That's what this does. Infrastructure bill could enable government to track drivers' travel. So an infrastructure bill that will enable government to mandate auto manufacturers to put a device in your vehicle that can pretty much snitch on you if you go 1 mile over the speed limit. That can pretty much snitch on you if you take that rolling right. That can pretty much tell the government where you are every second of every day that you're in that vehicle. That can pretty much see and look at you while you're driving. But ladies and gentlemen, this infrastructure bill, I'm pretty sure that it's for your safety. Because the government cares not about anything else except for your safety. That's why they send us to wars. That's why they steal our wealth in order to give it to other countries. Because they care about your safety, ladies and gentlemen. That's why they allow these big corporations to rape us and charge us 15 times more, 10 times more for our medicines than what other countries pay for the exact same medicines from the exact same company. Because it's for our safety, ladies and gentlemen. Are you starting to get the picture? Are you starting to get the picture that we are headed towards a dark place? And I've stated before that I'm a cycles guy. And I believe that there is nothing that we can do but allow the cycle to play itself through. But this information, ladies and gentlemen, is very important. Why is that? Because it allows you to prepare. It allows you to prepare. I have 2 older vehicles, well, 3 older vehicles that don't have any of this junk in them right now. Do you really think I'm going to go ahead and buy a brand new vehicle with all of this stuff in there that is going to be able to surveil me every second of every day? I mean, I know they do it now with our phones. They're probably listening in on me right now as I record this video because I've got 2 phones here on my desk. But how much is enough, ladies and gentlemen? And that's where I'm getting at. It's going to come to a point where it's going to be too much. And the people will have had enough. And bad things will happen. So will you be prepared to make it through that time frame? Will you be prepared to make it from point A to point B? That's what this is all about, ladies and gentlemen. These tyrants that are in Washington, D.C., these tyrants, they don't care what happens to us. They have their bunkers. They have their preps. Trust me, they are the very best prepared people in the country. Our government officials are the very best prepared people in the country. When they tell you to buy what you need, it's because they've already bought everything they need to survive an extended crisis. And when I say extended crisis, I mean years. So what are you doing to prepare for the mayhem that's coming? I'm not talking about the world. I'm not even talking about war with other countries. I'm talking about right here in the United States. In a country that wants to go to war with other countries, right? They want to take kids. They want to send them to war to other countries when here, in order to protect our freedoms, right? They want to send them to a war in another country to protect our freedoms, to protect democracy, while we here are fighting for our freedoms ourselves. But they want to take our kids and send them somewhere else. We need to stay here, ladies and gentlemen, and protect ourselves. We need to get strong enough that no matter what kind of crap laws these people pass, that we can just say, no, we will not comply. Because I'll tell you what, those of you that do comply, and those of you that are in on this, those of you that are tyrants, that want to see those that have an opposing view than the one that you have yourself, one day it is you that they will come after. That's why it is so important for government to tear people apart. That is why it's so important for government to get people against each other. Because the more separated we are as a nation, the easier it will be for them to control us. The easier that it will be for them to steal our liberties, to take them away from us. They are ours, ladies and gentlemen. Government doesn't give you anything. Without you, government is nothing. Without our labor, government is nothing. So why can we not at least agree on that? And here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Here's another one. This one right here, once they install that little device in your car that can monitor how you're driving, if they think that your driving is not good, well, ladies and gentlemen, all they have to do is go ahead and use the kill switch on your car and turn it off. They want it all. They want it all. Bill would give U.S. government kill switch in all new cars. You know what I say? Get your cars now. Get your affairs in order now. I would love nothing more than to see that when they start trying to sell these cars, that nobody buys one. No one. Learn how to fix your car. Learn how to do those regular maintenance things yourselves, just in case one day you have to. That way your car will last 20, 30 years. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Advances mean that all new vehicles can be electric by 2035. Just another way to be able to control your freedom of movement. Do you really think that if we exchanged all of the vehicles in the U.S. for electric vehicles, do you really think that our power grid would be able to control it? Do you really think that if they don't want you using your car, that they can't just give you enough electricity to power your home without any excess going so that you can feed your car the electricity it needs for you to get to wherever you want to go? Ladies and gentlemen, all of these tools that are being rolled out are tools, are laws that are meant to control us. And I just wonder why. Why is government so intent on trying to control our daily lives when it is we who should be controlling them? And segueing off of the last article I showed you, ladies and gentlemen, or the last article we discussed, is will all these new electric cars crash the grid? Well, let me know if you live in California. Does it not make sense that if you're already having problems with your grid, that adding 30 million or however million new cars, I don't know how many cars there's in California, I just made that number up, but adding X number of millions of cars to California, do you think that's going to help the grid? Oh, but we'll do it with solar panels. Really? It takes energy to make solar panels. Where's that energy going to come from? So to top it off, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to get more speeding tickets. Pete Buttigieg's speed camera plan is slammed. So now, ladies and gentlemen, consider this. You're in your car, it's got one of those little devices. We got these speed camera signs everywhere now that can monitor everyone. Trust me, it's not just for speed. The cameras won't just be for speed. It's going to be a way to be able to see every corner of every inch in the United States if these speed cameras are everywhere. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So now they put all these speed cameras up. You have your little CBDC. It acknowledges that you went 1 mile over the speed limit. And guess what? Before you even make it to your destination, there's already a fine that has been deducted from your centrally banked digital currency wallet on your phone. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all about 100% control. And if we don't know about this stuff, it's going to sneak up on us, and there's nothing we're going to be able to do about it. I don't know what to do about this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the only thing that I can see that would possibly change the way that we do things here in the United States is to get a completely brand new governance. Every single politician that is in there right now, maybe with the exception of 1 or 2, has to be replaced. Every single judge, no matter what level they're at, all the way up to the Supreme Court, needs to go through a course where they understand the Constitution and need to be filtered out to make sure that they're not using their own personal ideology to rule from the bench. But that's never going to happen. It's not going to happen voluntarily. So that's why I always say you have to be prepared, because all of these things, they're coming. They are going to push these things upon us little by little. And the only people that are going to suffer, all right, is we the people. We are the only ones that are going to suffer. Because trust me, when's the last time one of these politicians had a speeding ticket that they had to pay? Ask yourselves that. Having said that, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I wasn't trying to rant today, but looking at this, I get myself into these things by looking for more, right? I look at something and I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then it just leads. I go down the rabbit hole, and this is where it leads me. I just take a look at all of the things that they're doing, that they're actively doing in order to erode our liberties. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave it off with this. Never give up your 2A. Never give up your 2A. And if you wonder why I say that, just go ahead and take a look at history and look at what most countries, I would say 99% of all democides that have ever occurred. Not 99%, 100%. You can look at that, and I can confidently tell you that 100% of all democides that have occurred after the 2A for that specific country was abolished. Every one of them. 100 million people in the last 120 years or so. Having said that, remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.